Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me here today for our Meal Solution Mondays class, which is our Flyer to Fork class. My name is Charlotte Shine. I'm one of the Giant Company dietitians. Thank you for joining me here again for this class. Again, for our Meal Solution Mondays class, we are kind of switching it up a little bit and doing a Flyer to Fork, which is a little bit of a different take on our usual Meal Solution Mondays class series. So with the Flyer to Fork, we look through the weekly ad kind of from a dietitian's perspective, trying to put affordability or help you bring affordability to your table. And I would love to hear from all of you if you have already looked at the weekly ad for this week. So let me go ahead and pull up this poll and you can go ahead and answer that question, which is, did you look at this week's ad? You can just say yes or no. Would love to hear what you have to say. Just give her a couple seconds to answer that. All right, so I'll go ahead and end the poll. So I'm very happy with this response. So it looks like a lot of you already have looked at the weekly ad and some of you have not. So if you have not, I will review different ways on how to look at the weekly ad and where to find it. All right, so thanks everybody for answering that question. All right. Okay, so for this Flyer to Fork class, we're going to go over where to find the circular and the weekly sales ads, and then how to bring it to life. So how to, if you find something in the weekly ad, some type of ingredient that you want, how to or bring it to the Savory magazine to try to find a recipe, and we'll go over that in a little bit. But the featured recipe that we're going to be making today from some of the ingredients in the weekly ad is spicy chicken drumsticks with oven fries and salad. So there's a variety of different ways to find the weekly ad. So first off being, and probably many of you do still get your newspaper. So normally for the weekly ad, it comes into our community, comes inside the community newspaper. So you can definitely locate in there in your mailbox. It might be easier also to just find it in the stores. Normally when you walk in the entrance, it's normally right there for the weekly ads. You could pick up a paper copy of it. You can also look at it on our website, either Giant or Martin's. So normally when you go on the website and you scroll down, and I'll show you a visual of this, but you can click on the weekly ad and you can either view a grid view or the kind of like a PDF version. You can also find it on our app as well. So that's a pretty easy way to find the weekly ad. So if you pull up the app and you kind of scroll down a little bit, you can click on it that way as well. And I'll show you some visuals of that. So the first one, so this is on our website. So of course, if you scroll down a little bit and then you click on the weekly ads, you can see right there, it will pull up this visual. So again, you can either do the grid view where you can kind of search for different things, or the print view, which so the print view you would find kind of in the paper copy store, or how you would find it like if it came in the newspaper. So that is the print view. So again, you can find it on our website. And then again on our app, which I'm sure all of us have phones, and hopefully you have the Giant or Martin's app, and then you can click on the app and scroll down. You can see here, it says view weekly ad, and you can click on it that way. So there's a variety of different ways to view the ad. So if you haven't been into the store to pick up a paper copy, you can of course view it online or on the app. And so how to bring it to life. So for instance, in this week's weekly ad, chicken drumsticks are on sale. So you can see here on the Savory website, so you would just go to the Savory website on the Giant Food Store. So you can see here, I typed in chicken drumsticks, and it pulled up these different types of recipes. What's nice about Savory too is you can filter out certain stuff, or you can do advanced filter search. So if you look on the left-hand side, you can do advanced filter by the cuisine or course, occasion, ready in. So I think there's like 30 minutes, an hour. You can filter it that way, whatever type of season, whether that be spring, summer, fall. Or winter. You can do any type of diet or method of cooking, and then guiding stars as well, because of course we love a good guiding star on a recipe. So guiding stars meaning 1, 2, or 3 stars. So you can see here with chicken drumsticks, so I decided to do the one where it has a star right by it, so spicy drumsticks with oven fries and salad. So depending on what ingredient that you are or that whatever product that you want to buy, and then you want to search it here to kind of come up with different recipes. Savory has a wide array of different recipes, which is really nice. But this is the one that I found that we are going to be making today. So this is our savory recipe. So again, spicy drumsticks with oven fries and salad. It gets 2 guiding stars. So guiding stars is our nutritional navigation program. So the more stars that something gets, meaning a recipe or product in store, the more nutritional benefits it has. And so you can see here, so my ingredients. So we're going to be using, so for this recipe, they said fingerling potatoes or even really any type of potato that would roast well. So we're going to be using white potatoes because they're in the weekly ad. Also, the chicken drumsticks from the weekly ad. We're going to be putting a little bit of olive oil on there, and then some Jamaican jerk spice, which we have right here. I'm going to be chopping up some apple red grapes. So red grapes are also in the weekly ad. We're chopping those up, putting them into our salad, and then mixing together some Greek yogurt, mustard, white wine vinegar. And so the salad, you can either do a cabbage, so you can kind of cut that up or shred it for the salad, or you can really do any type of leafy greens. So I'm going to be using our Nature's Promise greenhouse grown spring mix, which will be nice. So you can either do like a dark leafy green or you can still do the cabbage as well. Sometimes people are a little bit more sensitive to cabbage and might upset their stomach a little bit more. So you can always do the leafy greens as well. So for this recipe, it gets 24 grams of protein, 8 grams of fiber, and it does serve 4. So I already put my chicken drumsticks on my baking sheet. So there are, let's see, so there's 8. So in the chicken drumsticks in the weekly ad, it's a value pack. So you get about 12 drumsticks on there. So on my baking sheet, I have about 8 on there. So yeah, so it serves 4. So this is the recipe that we are going to be creating from some of the weekly ad products that are on sale for a bonus buy. And again, so the ingredients in the weekly ad, so our chicken drumsticks, so the value pack, so a 4 to 6 pound package, also our brand white potatoes, and then the Taste of Inspiration sparkle red or Stella Bella seedless grapes. I believe there's also a bonus buy on there for green grapes as well. So you can most likely also use the green grapes in this recipe for the salad, but the red grapes are on sale this week. So definitely those are good ones for this recipe. All right, and I think let me see this one. So these are just the directions which I'll go over anyway. So let me stop sharing and I will get started with our recipe. All right. All right, there we go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, so the first thing I'm going to do is preheat my oven to 425. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, so that will be heating up a while. So again, I did put my chicken drumsticks on a baking sheet with parchment paper. Parchment paper. Okay, so I did wash. These are the white potatoes. You can see here I have my bag of white potatoes that I picked up. So for this recipe, probably like 5 or 6 white potatoes, depending on how how big they are. So we're gonna do 5 white potatoes and we're gonna cut them in wedges. And I already did kind of scrub these potatoes and wash them off. So we're just gonna cut these into wedges and they're gonna go right beside our chicken drumsticks. So these are pretty decent sized white potatoes. Might only need 4 of these actually. Um, and what's nice about the chicken drumsticks, you can probably get 2 or make 2 servings or recipes from buying the value pack chicken drumsticks. Or if you don't use up the chicken drumsticks right away, you can always put them in the freezer or even the refrigerator. You could put them in if you wanted to make it like 2 nights in a row. But especially also because you're getting this or this bag of white potatoes, you definitely have enough to even make another meal. All right, so I'm just cutting up my white potatoes in wedges. All right. So I'm going to bring over my baking sheet with my chicken drumsticks, and I'm just going to put my potatoes on there. So you can see here, I put my chicken drumsticks right on this baking sheet. Let's see how big this. So this baking sheet, I believe, is like a 12 by 17. You probably even do a larger baking sheet for this recipe, but I'm just going to put my potatoes on here and then we'll season it in just a little bit. So I probably don't even need all these potatoes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set this over here. Back over here. Okay, we just have about one potato wedge. We can just keep that over there for now. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut up my apple and then grapes. So we're going to cut the apple into kind of cubes. And what's also nice about this recipe, so there are some apples also that are in the weekly ad that you can purchase for this recipe. So I just kind of cut off kind of four sides. We're just going to cut it into, kind of like small square cube shapes. We're going to do two more sides, and then we're going to cut up our grapes, which are also in the weekly ad. All right, so we're going to go ahead and set this aside, and then I have 1 cup of red grapes right here. So what we're going to do is cut these, just half them. This will bring out a nice sweetness to our salad. And again, for our salad, you can either use cabbage. You can shred the cabbage or use kind of a dark leafy green. And we're going to be adding apple and grapes to it and then making a dressing with Greek yogurt. Okay. I think for the Greek yogurt, I forgot to take out the refrigerator, so I will go and grab that then. All right. So I think actually this might be enough for the grapes. And I love the taste of Inspirations red grapes, and they have different varieties. Like they're just really nice and sweet. All right, so I think this looks good. So I'm going to bring over this bowl. We'll put our apples and grapes in here. All right, in our oven, it's about like 150. It's taking a little bit to warm up. All right, so let me get my bowl here, and we're going to go ahead and mix this dressing together. So in the dressing, we're going to be using white wine vinegar, mustard, and then some Greek yogurt. Let me get this out. So this is our Greek yogurt that we have. So we're going to be doing 1.5 cups. This Greek yogurt. Let me get my measuring. This is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. So I'll do 3 of these. So this just gives a nice kind of pop of protein for dressing. So this is the second one. Last one. So again, I have 1.5 cups. All right, so go ahead and set this aside, and we're also going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of mustard. So my teaspoon right here. And then 2 tablespoons of the white wine vinegar. So again, this is the white wine vinegar that I have right here. We'll do 2 tablespoons. Go ahead and mix this, and you can also you can either put like salt and pepper in if you want to put even a little bit more in there. Let me go ahead and give this a mix. Actually, I wonder if I have, I think I'm gonna put, my salt is over there. I'm gonna just put a little bit of salt and pepper in this. Let me go grab that. And a little bit of pepper. Great. Set this here. Just let me go grab. I'm just gonna plate the salad on the side of this. Let's see. So I just want to mention too. So again, Nature's Promise greenhouse grown spring mix. I always like these packages because they reseal really nice and stay fresh. Just gonna set this there. Some of our apples and grapes. And I think with this recipe, you can use a variety of different apples and apple season. I guess it is apple season, but you can use whatever apples that you want. So we're just gonna drizzle some of this dressing right on it. All right, so we'll set this to the side. And then we're gonna season our chicken and potatoes. So let me actually put this over by the sink. And I'll bring over the chicken. All right, so again, we have our chicken drumsticks and then the potatoes that we cut up. So I'm going to take our extra virgin olive oil and put it in. I'm just going to put it in this little bowl. See that bowl? Then we're just going to brush on some of the olive oil onto our chicken and potatoes. Here's my brush. So I always like this brush for kind of putting this on different things. So we're going to put this on the chicken and then potatoes. And we're going to put it in the oven then at 425, really until the chicken has an internal temperature of 165, and then until the potatoes are tender. And you do want to toss it halfway, the potatoes, if we're even cooking. All right, and I think for the potatoes, instead of brushing it on, I'm just going to drizzle this on and then kind of move around the potatoes to make sure that they're well coated. All right. So I'm also making sure that this is one layer just so it cooks even as well. Okay. Let me actually wipe my hands quickly. And then this is so the Jamaican jerk seasoning. So this is actually a Caribbean jerk chicken seasoning. It has pretty much the same. So it has onion, some spices, has allspice, thyme, cayenne pepper, garlic, ginger, and turmeric, and then some sea salt. So definitely a little bit more of a spice, obviously, because it's spicy chicken. So I'm just going to. So the recipe says two teaspoons. You can kind of just make sure everything is coated. So I would say put this in the oven for at least maybe 25-30 minutes. But again, you want to make sure that the chicken is 165 internal temperature for food safety. All right, and then we're just going to put this on our potatoes. Actually, open the other side. Might just move around the potatoes again so it's all over everywhere. All right. This is where our oven's at. Oven is almost there. So again, we're going to put this in the oven, I would say for about 25 to 30 minutes. Again, until that chicken has internal temperature 165 and until the potatoes are tender. And then you want to toss the potatoes halfway through. But again, once it's done, then you can plate it with the salad. Let me go ahead and wipe my hands again. And again, this is our salad. So I use that Nature's Promise green mix. So apples, grapes, and then that Greek yogurt dressing. All right. Let me bring over this. And I will definitely put this in the oven when it reaches 425.